Yeah, so Mango, what we did was we took the existing structure here and then put glass around it. Now we have our entrance right here through this crystal portal. And
Nice.
what we decided, Cleo and I were like, the funniest thing we could do here is just have completely unnecessary magic. So we use things like book portals to move like 3 feet. Like we could have put a door here. We could have had a door, but you know what? No, there's nothing more impressive than a portal. In fact, we're gonna make these portals larger, but we just wanted to kind of have a proof of concept.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that.
And so we were gonna have down in here. You see where these netherrack bricks are? We would put our library books or whatever, and then have a enchantment station down in the center here. And what I was almost thinking is even digging down here. And so the way you get into this library book area is you just hop down over the shelves, and then we have another crystal book portal out that just takes you back to the top.
I
Just
love it.
as
That is
wasteful as
awesome.
possible. And so we got another huge the glass here is a special type of glass that is a combination of pulverized obsidian and pulverized lead. Um
Good
so
Lord.
it takes a few seconds to break even with a pick.
Is it retrievable?
No, it's not retrievable, so don't actually
Okay.
break it, but you can kind of get a sense of how long it takes to break.
That is awesome. Would you quit jumping on me? I gave you your pants back.
Oh crap, where are they?
They're in your
Oh,
inventory.
thank goodness. I thought they were gone.
So anyway, what we were gonna do then is get a bunch of different crystal gates that launch you to different platforms throughout here that would have different books that would take you to other places, and just kind of really have this be a very vertical space.
Yeah, I like it. I should totally read Harry Potter again. I could totally put some stuff in there.
So anyway, having constructed all of this today, keeping in mind that we could roll back the server, or not roll back, but restart the server. On the second thing that you guys put forward as a vote, which was
Right?
MC editing in like the old stuff, I I would say if that provision could possibly include, I kind of think you're using MC edit as a verb that does not necessarily mean using the MC edit tool. Is that correct?
Correct.
Because the actual way to do this, I think, would be to delete all the chunks that are not around the spawn village, and then to just regenerate those with world gen.
Yeah, it's
The,
essentially what we're talking about.
yeah, it's just that could look kind of weird. I've done this
Well,
in the
no, but
past
what we
because that's what I used to do with like my Anvil or before Anvil came out when I wanted to convert my world over and like the biomes would end up changing because of the world gen.
well, that's one of those things where we would route around the damage. We would go out there with our mining lasers and make the cliffs turn into hills, and it would be work. But MC Edit doesn't work with all of these blocks. We would
Right.
lose
Right.
all of the cool things. So,
And that's something we can look at. What's up, Alice?
so if MC Edit itself is not is a vague verb, as in Xerox,
Yes.
then
Yeah, essentially, yeah, it's a Xerox thing.
then I
It's
would support MC editing in quotes. Keeping the spawn village here, but not the wilderness areas.
correct.
So we keep the plots, we keep the village, we keep the big wizard tower Cleo and I just worked on with all this obsidian and pulverized lead, but we don't necessarily keep, my mining base all the way out there. Because honestly, it's going to be worthless to keep it if I can't get any of the new materials.
Right, and it's what my whole part in that was just give me a day or two to go through and get my stuff out, the stuff that I want to keep out of my wilderness base, and I'm good with losing it.
And I would propose as a fallback, additionally, the player inventory files can be backed up in an even easier way, such that we essentially tell people anything that you absolutely want to keep, go ahead and compress all your stuff into blocks, put it in your inventory. Even if we can't save the world, we will at least save what you had on you. So instead of cheating in a link
Ah,
modifier, you would just pick it up before we do it.
Oh, I like that.
that's a fantastic idea. I like that too.
And so if that counts within your MC edit definition, then you have my yes vote on that second part.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
I'll
good
go
with
with
that.
that. Yeah,
Like I
definitely.
said, the thing with me is I don't care about the maps. Like I think starting over always gives you the opportunity to find new ways and better ways to do things. But that's the way my brain works. But keeping the map, as long as all we keep is the surrounding, what's right here, essentially, then I'm good with, doing that. Just deleting the chunks.
And with regards to immediately updating to one of the 146 packs, I'm currently disinclined to use any of the existing public 146 packs because I'm endeavoring to get us involved in the beta for the private packs.
Okay.
Which right now the private packs are something that are not going to go live for everybody for 1 to 2 weeks. But
Right.
they are going to need to test them. Now, unfortunately, that might mean that in the test we end up screwing everything up anyway. So that might not be the best idea, but I guess it's one of those things where I'm not going to, until I know better what to expect on that, I'm not inclined to use somebody else's pack.
Okay. Well,
and you guys can outvote me on this, though.
I was gonna say, and I'm trying not to sound awkward about it, but this may be one of those times where your server doesn't become your server, because the problem is here's what's happening.
It's my server if you outvote me. That is my vision, is that I will have an idea that I think is good, but you have an idea that you think is better, and if enough of you think that, that will be what we do. Like, I am in no way going to be offended if you guys would rather do one thing or another. Like,
right. And
that's
well,
not
here's
what
my
I'm
problem is, and I'm looking at it a couple of different ways. The one way I'm looking at it is right now the only people playing on this extensively are me, Doc, and Jade. I mean, I don't know when you play, but I don't see you on at night when I'm on here.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like, Flora's not been on here. I know she's been busy. Cleo's been, but I mean, there's nothing on here. Everybody's not willing to do anything because they don't know what pack we're going to go to and that kind of thing. So if we can get to 146 and get the world gen, the other updates supposedly aren't going to be world gen updates, so we should be okay.
Well, the biggest concern I have with switching to somebody else's 146 pack before we can roll our own is that the two 146 packs that are out have changes made to them as mods are added or removed to meet the taste of the people who are on those server, the primary server for that.
Right.
And so then we lose our agency or our ability to self-determine which packs we're including. Whereas by going to the private packs, we would maintain that agency. Now, if it's more important to you guys that we do this quickly and then we migrate to a private pack 2 weeks from now, I'm happy to be outvoted on this. Or even if we stick with somebody else and it's not really... Like, we'll figure it out as we go. Like, this is about us figuring it out, not about me figuring it out.
Right. And I think the big thing is we want to get this new... The big thing is red power. People want red power, and they want it right now. Like, and I'm inclined to agree. That's where I look at, if we need to migrate to a private pack in a couple of weeks, or we can't, or if we've got that ability, then that's fine. But until then, I've played on the Dire Wolf pack. He's got some really cool stuff on there, and I think it's fun to learn as things change.
I agree with that point. Okay, so this is just another supposition. Suppose that we did get the 5 votes, or if it only takes 5 votes to essentially make a major change to the server like this, which right now we haven't said that it would take 6 or more. The actual deletion of the chunks outside of spawn, would that happen at the same time, or would we give everybody 3 days warning, or how does that work?
I've been saying 3 to 4 days warning.
So the earliest we would have red power, even if tonight you got 2 more votes to move the server forward, would be January 1st, essentially.
Yeah. That would be the absolute earliest. But considering the holiday, I'd be willing to even give it until next weekend. Me personally. That gives everybody a week to get on, get what they want to keep.
Well, I guess what I'm saying, though, is if we're going to go through all the trouble of using somebody else's pack in the interest of time, waiting
Right.
7 days. By 7 days, we could possibly have the private pack.
And that's a possibility I think we run into. But what we've been having the problems with is it's just become stagnant because there's no votes going out.
Yeah, and I want people to be proposing stuff. I'm just throwing out what I'm thinking.
So,
Um,
and that's fine. I mean, and we can do what do they call those? An emergency cabinet meeting, if you want to call it something weird. If in say 6 days the private packs are available, then we can go. Okay, we can jump on Twitter, on Skype, and we can go. Okay, we need the votes. This is what's going to happen. Do we still want to go with the Direwolf pack, or do we want to go with one of these private packs?
well, I guess my point is though, you're by talking about waiting for anything for 6 days, you're undermining the urgency argument in general. Like, it really seems like if we're gonna commit to switching, we should say, and it's in the next 72 hours. Or and it's in the next 48. I mean, that's just, to me, like, you guys are the ones that are proposing this. And okay, so for example, let's see. If we were gonna look at who the possible voting parties are, Brendan is 2 time zones away from his computer because of the holidays. And he's been having so much trouble getting Feed the Beast running in general that we're not sure what exactly is going on there.
Right.
Flora has not voted yet, but I could see her going with you guys and Jade on this one. Cleo has not yet voted. I'm assuming she's asleep, so the earliest she would vote is maybe 12 hours from now, but more likely, 18. And then, okay, so who does that leave then?
Wes is probably easy to get a hold of. Just yell at him several times on Skype.
Yeah, so if, for example, if you got Wes and Flora, like, or Aim and Wes, or Aim and Flora, I mean...
I know Aim, she hasn't been feeling good. I've been watching her Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, well, it's the holidays, too, so she's got, more people around than usual. This is a really difficult time for people to put in a lot of hours into any game, just because...
Right.
Like, for me, I just spent most of the day with my in-laws. I guess what I'm saying is, I'm gonna vote against this one, but I'm gonna vote against using one of the current 146 packs. But I will explicitly say, as a note, that does not mean that I would be in any way displeased about doing that.
If it went the other way, it would only prove your point of making the server.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, your whole point was you don't want the one dictatorship. The guy who owns the server makes all the choices. The whole point is you want it to be more of a group thing. And if this would probably be, if this happened, this would probably be the first time it's gone a way that you're not wanting it to go.
Yeah, this is the first time that a vote has explicitly... This is the first time you guys have bucked me, I would say. But in no way would I see that as problematic. That is something that I've been looking forward to since starting this server. And
I like the discussion on it.
Yeah.
Like I said, me still personally, I'm big into I'd like a new map, but then again, I didn't build Spawn Village. We
spent a lot of time voting about stuff with the Spawn Village and stuff too, so it would undermine the historical relevance of our founding in a lot of ways.
Right.
And so that's that's why I do vote in favor of MC editing in quotations or italics or whatever. This, deleting the chunks around Spawn, and then people just put in whatever work they can to make it look pretty after. But yeah, I'm gonna vote against using one of the 2 existing 146 packs. But like I said, in no way would I view it as an insult or a slight if anybody else voted in your camp. And I'd be very interested. I'd be very interested to see the server change and to see people actively involved with it. And I'd be happy to. I would implement the changes as quickly as possible. And I think theoretically we could just update everything to 146 without deleting the chunks immediately, but then we delete the chunks after 72 hours, essentially.
Can we
Because
do that?
I think so. From a technical standpoint, I can't see any reason why not. We would tell people don't build anything out past the
current areas.
current areas, but I mean,
Don't
theoretically,
put any work into your outside wilderness.
yeah, don't put any work into your outside wilderness, but you can at least start making red power stuff at your base or at your spawn plot, and you can start go gathering materials. I mean, technically, that might be considered duping if you went and got like diamonds or something from an area, and then we deleted it, and then.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean,
but I don't think we need to worry about that too much.
but I guess my point is, there's no reason not to just roll it forward to 146 immediately if you guys vote that way. That's how I
Right.
feel.
Doc, are you still alive?
I am just
Okay.
listening very intensely.
Doc, do you have any intense replies or repartees?
No, not really. I mean, like you said, you kind of got some very valid points, about the whole thing, you know. I think it's definitely interesting. I haven't really seen the political side of the server like really active yet, like we've done some small votes, but I think this will be one of the bigger votes that will be interesting.
It might be worth it to, since Doc's video is already up, it may be worth it to construct a tweet with Flora's, Cleo's, Wes, Brendan, who am I missing, and Maya, AIM, with their names in it saying, hey, you might want to look at this if you have a minute.
Yeah, and I would include my reply link as well. So, Doc, what I'm gonna do is I can only choose one of your videos to set this as a reply to, and yours is the one listed in the Skype. So I'm gonna go ahead and nearly die when my jetpack stops working, and then I'm gonna stop recording, and then I'm going to encode this and upload it to YouTube, effective immediately rather than like waiting on the scheduler, just to get this out there. So that should be maybe, I don't know, an hour round trip at most. And so that way people can see there are 4 votes in favor of save and spawn and 3 votes in favor of switching to the Direwolf 146 pack.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sound good? Alrighty.
I like this. This is fun.
Yeah, no, this is fun. And this is why I wanted to start the server, because I wanted to have conversations like this with people that I liked and that I respected. And that's the great thing about this is even if I don't, even if I'm voting differently than you, that doesn't mean that I don't see why you're voting the way you're voting, or that I don't, respect why you're voting the way you're voting.
Right.
I think that this is a good group, and I'm really happy with everybody on the server, and so nobody needs to worry about like, oh, I don't want to disagree with the guy who's run it. That's half the point. Just get out there and make stuff fun for us. So, alrighty.
Wow.
Well, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.